Changing directions, they walked the red carpet and strolled down the aisle, broke up and hooked up, were sentenced to rehab, and awarded little gold statues. We're talking about the celebrities of 2010, and here with their best and worst moments is Brian Balthazar, the editor of popgoestheweek.com. Brian, good to see you.
Good morning.
You got everything covered today, do you not?
We do.
All right.
As we should.
Okay. Best hookups of 2010.
Lots of love connections happening this year. Most notably, I think one people were talking about Taylor Swift and Jake Gyllenhaal. Squeaky clean, freshly exfoliated, as you can see, good-looking couple. You know, they're about as official as you can be when there hasn't been a formal announcement made. They were first seen at an SNL show. The next morning, they were having coffee in Brooklyn. They spent a holiday together. So I think they're one that people are watching. Okay. Another one that happened this year, Katy Perry and Russell Brand got married. You know, he kind of officially hit on her while he was the host of an award show, the MTV VMA Awards, and now they're married, and I think they're ones to watch. I think he's kind of cleaned up. She has cleaned up his act. He is not freshly exfoliated, as you can see. Maybe
a whirlwind romance, definitely.
Another one, Shania Twain. This is an interesting story. Yeah. She went through a divorce recently. Actually, her husband reportedly or allegedly had an affair with one of their managers. Well, she ended up becoming friends with this woman's husband. So now she's engaged to the husband of the woman her ex-husband had an affair with, and the beat goes on. But I also like to mention the people that deserve a little honorable mention, the ones that have been kind of staying power, and Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones, I think, are a great example of that.
Yeah, sure.
10 years in the running. He's obviously had a very difficult year, and they've stood strong in that, and I think that's a beautiful thing. Another couple that's quite famously getting along, I would say, is Heidi Klum and Seal. This past year, Seal did a music video with her in it where it's quite beautiful, actually, and as you can see, they're, you know, in their underwear, mostly naked in bed, and in a romantic way.
Yeah, exactly. You could show this on morning television.
Right, of
course.
Probably
get out of it right away.
Classy.
Classy. You've got, okay, this is the good news here.
Yes.
The bad news.
It's not all good
2010.
news. It is a little sad sometimes. I think one of the couples that has surprised us all was Courtney Cox and David Arquette. They had been together 10 years, and they announced they were having a trial separation. Then David Arquette went on Howard Stern and said way too much about their personal lives. That does not bode well for the future for these two, but I was a little disappointed. And then there's the one we were all expecting, Jessie James and Sandra Bullock. You know, a year ago, she was primed up for the Oscars and looking adoringly at him when she won, and suddenly it turns out that he was not the best husband in the world, and I think people would have been really disappointed in her if she had stayed with him.
Really?
I kind of
well, after what happened, but you said we were expecting that.
Well, I think that we were expecting for her to leave him after we found out what happened.
I gotcha.
Another split, Kelsey Grammer and Camille. You know, Camille said that she didn't spend enough time working on her, spending time with herself and doing things for herself. Now, she did have 4 nannies, so I don't know what she was spending time on. He reportedly, allegedly had an affair with a 29-year-old stewardess, so he's trading.
That'll get you in trouble.
Is that trading up, trading young? I don't know.
Well, they get you in trouble. That we do know.
And so he's apparently going to marry her, but he's not yet divorced.
Okay. Jim Carrey
and Jenny McCarthy, two very funny people. I was kind of sad to see them break up because they look like they'd be a riot together. You know, actually, he once, wore her swimsuit on the beach, and it was, unpleasant for all involved. But, it's funny, and it's sad to see anybody. They had been together at least 5 years, maybe even 10 as well. I think 5.
Okay, let's change directions now and talk about fashion. Who were the big red carpet winners this year?
Anne Hathaway never looked bad this year. I think she rarely looks bad. She has an unusual, she actually has said that she has kind of an unusual look, but I have to say, I think she's gorgeous, and on the red carpet, she always nails it. Another one who always nails it, Emma Watson. We saw her growing up in the Harry Potter films. Her hair was all frizzed out. She went and chopped her hair kind of as an act of, look at my new freedom. And she's a beautiful woman, and she loved playing with fashion from the very beginning. Helen Mirren is another one. I think you never see her look bad. She's a classically beautiful woman, talented actress, and always looks gorgeous. There she is at the Oscars, and she always looks gorgeous. But not everyone on the red carpet does look gorgeous, Russ.
I'll bet you have a list for red carpet losers. Kesha, sometimes you get it right. This looks like it was put together by a nursery school, including the finger paint. This is a nightmare, and some pop stars nail it. I think Lady Gaga does, but Kesha is a hot mess. Another one, Cloris Leachman. Is that a technical term, a hot mess?
Cloris Leachman, yes. Cloris Leachman didn't always nail it. I love her as an actress. Some Safari tour is missing its guide because, Cloris Leachman was a little rough around the edges. Courtney Love, doesn't always nail it on the red carpet either. She's trying. She turned on the lights before selecting her outfits, but she actually put together a website this year called What Courtney Wore Today, and she takes a picture every day of what she wore. And actually, sometimes she looks pretty good.
Boy, it was a rough train ride in for you today.
It was.
Yeah.
I'm a little edgy.
Breakout stars of 2010, acting and music.
Yeah, who'd have thought that Betty White, an 88-year-old woman, would make her comeback? But you know, a year ago, she was in this great Snickers commercial, and that led to a Facebook campaign to get her to host SNL, and it was one of their highest-rated shows in 8 years. So, and if you don't like Betty White, you don't like rainbows. You know, it's like you have to be pretty crabby not to like Betty White. Another one, Jane Lynch from Glee. You know, it's interesting to see that, you know, she's not the youngest character on the show. It's all about the teenagers in high school, but Jane Lynch steals the show every time. Right. And she was the first one to be asked to host a late night show as well. So I think she's another one. Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars has had an incredible year musically, and he's had, I think, 7 Grammy nominations. You know, this is this great video, Just the Way You Are.
Right.
Very talented. Another one, Nicki Minaj. I'm not sure everyone knows who she is. She's a hip-hop singer who is the first artist to have 7 hit singles on the Billboard 100 simultaneously. So if you don't know who she is yet, you will.
You got it covered. Ryan Balthazar.
I do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
Boy, I'm staying on your good side. How's
All
that?
right, do that.